Hello, I'm David from howtocruise.co.uk. Here we are in Garanga. Here's another episode from a cruise book at bedtime. Serialised episodes of Cruise Ship Heist by Stuart St. Paul. If you haven't heard the other chapters, you can start right at the beginning by following the link just there.
Chapter 8. In Plain Sight. Navy ships had often carried my old units, the trucks, the tanks, and sometimes the horses. I thought they were large, but beyond the line of palms along the edge of the dock are two colossal cruise ships. They are docked next to each other, one each side of a long concrete pier that extends out to sea. A small brass band plays as guests, many older and less able, mingle in the sun. They are not drug mules. Does that mean the crew work the sinister smuggling routes? I'm excited to see everything inside that has been explained to me with such enthusiasm by my daughter. It makes me so proud that she's happy. I know I can't see her until the evening, so perhaps I could still make the rainforest after all. Aulie enthused about the charms of Caribbean rum, reggae buses, and how I'd love them. Knowing I must reintegrate with civilian life, she dissuaded me from hiking alone or hiring a private guide. She said the reggae bus took in some small towns on the way to Banana River, and the guide who takes you into the rainforest points out the poison dart frogs and other jungle creatures. She laughed when she mentioned that all the tours add in a banana plantation, like she has seen too many now. I've never seen bananas growing. However, that bus looks like it's leaving, and it's already noisier than I would like to be. It goes to show how little we know of each other and how precious this working holiday is. Our driver opens the rear door and reaches in for the first bag, but Georgie beats him to it. The driver lifts Ronnie's bag instead, then mine. With a rushed adios, he leaves. We walk down the long pier between the ships to the gangway and are acknowledged by a junior officer inspecting cruise cards of guests. He radios inside, asking for our cruise cards to be brought down. Then he continues reboarding passengers who already have the magic plastic. Another hold-up, but I hear another reggae bus draw into the end of the pier. I'm warm into the idea. I just need that cruise card and to dump my bags and hang my suits. I can unpack the rest and inspect the ship later. However, up the gangway, security looks thorough and has an X-ray belt for bags and an arch to walk through. Port security might have been easy, but this looks a challenge. Nice suitcase, Georgie, Ronnie says, cutting the air. Very nice, I add. I'm sure I've seen that style before, Ronnie whispers, testing her. I realise Ronnie's not involved in Georgie's plan. Not until now, but that sounded like an offer. She didn't see the dead body on the plane, or she might not want to get involved. Someone else had those bags searched at the airport. The army may never have sent me to Panama, but they did train me to notice things, I offer. Do you mind if I just rush on first when the cards come? Ronnie looks up the ramp as she talks to Georgie. I noticed you behind me approaching the queue, and when you saw me being searched, you turned around and went back. Georgie stops her. I panicked. I found this bag, and I was trying to find the owner, but then figured it was full of drugs, so I ran to the toilet to dump it. I smile, knowing my canal lecture is no longer in danger of her criticism. Ronnie must have seen Georgie had the bag and knew she'd eventually make it out of the terminal, which is why she stopped the taxi from leaving. Money? Ronnie asks. Georgie nods. I would have been happy if it was full of her shoes. She looks my size. Such a disappointment, I add sarcastically. Maybe you could buy all the shoes you want, if only, Ronnie adds. I put some in here, she gestures, with the hand luggage she holds so tightly. Before you gave the case back to its owner, I ask. The report from my new boss is improving by the minute. No, after I tried to give it back and she was arrested, I thought I'd just dump her case, she admits. How are you going to get any of this past the X-ray machine and onto the ship? Ronnie asks. Georgie's previous bravado has vanished. She seems sure the bag won't make it past the ship's security. Three-way split, Ronnie says. None of us ever talks about it. I'm stunned. I'm about to go on a reggae bus. There's no three-way anything. I want no part of what probably killed the man on the airline. Although the money would be a convenient answer to losing my army pension by my perceived poor conduct in Syria. Both of you follow me with bags, she barks. Ronnie drops her bag on the floor next to a water cart at the bottom of the gangway and marches to an area of the ship's hull that two men are painting. Georgie instantly moves off, clutching her hand luggage and towing her own case with the stolen red case on top in the cover. There is no way. Ronnie is just a marine biologist. I leave my bag by the gangway and follow. But I've agreed to nothing. Chapter number 9. Hull Limpets. I hope neither of you two hull limpets are dropping paint in this beautiful Costa Rican sea, Ronnie shouts to the workers painting the hull as she sorts through the dust sheets and goods left in their adjacent wheeled work cage with its side off. No, Miss Ronnie, one says. The sea will be crystal when we sail out, ma'am, the other one shouts as they continue to work. Ronnie pulls out a large white dust blanket and shakes it, in folds, over Georgie's case. Her foot against the side of the lower case to hold the cover on the lower one, she lifts the blanket with the upper case inside. I turn away and point to the hole. You've missed a chunk, I joke. A well-timed misdirection that takes me away from the action. A distant police siren is getting louder, closer. Ronnie calmly lays the sheet in the wheeled cage and takes a second sheet. But Georgie is in a panic, clutching her bag and noticing the police car with flashing lights stop momentarily at the port gate. I don't need to turn. I can tell the sirens are stationary. Then the police car is let through and accelerates. The sirens have the horrifying Doppler effect, a crescendo with speed as it comes straight for us. We should be getting on our international haven, I urge, wanting to distance myself from the other two. We're going to be arrested, Georgie worries. Not sure they can do that now we're dockside, Ronnie says calmly. We're in South America. Assume police can do what they like, I add without turning. Help me fold this sheet, Georgie. Handbag in hand. And now it's gone, Ronnie firmly instructs. I hear various other noises which I assume relate to the cage. Then Ronnie joins me quayside. Are you questioning the crew's work? She jokes loudly. I point at the hole, miming, as the three police officers leave their car on the dock and rush down the pedestrian jetty behind us. It was a short-lived fantasy, I suggest to Ronnie. They can't be for us. She's right. They ran straight past. She should take a bow at the success of her magic trick. We head back towards the gangway to see the two policemen and a policewoman disappear onto the ship. Chapter 10. Ecological Considerations. Georgie, a female officer in white shouts as she downs the gangway that we left minutes earlier. She has such a beautiful smile, it makes me instantly consider my need to improve my social skills. My two partners just have cards. Mine is inside a concertinaed ship's map with my cabin number on. A dangerous reveal if the anonymous card were lost with it. A bit like putting home in your car's sat-nav. At 3 o'clock, please come to reception for lifeboat drill and to register your credit card. So you can purchase items on board, the officer says. I collect my cases. Ronnie jumps in front. I should make sure my painters deal with their tools and paint properly. Eco considerations here in Costa Rica are huge, she offers, now blocking the gangway. That's bigging your part up, I suggest. But I'm speaking to be noticed by the very pretty officer. She smiles at me in a way that makes me melt. I'm guessing she's Malaysian, though I've no idea why I think that. What a day. A collection of stunning women, and I've not even jumped on the rum bus. I find myself looking to see if she's wearing a wedding ring. I am human after all. I am determined to engage, rather than to retreat as I did before. Oh no, a wedding ring. Costa Rica is one of the greatest biological diversities in the world, and very safe. It abolished all its armed services. Ronnie throws back as she climbs up. I'd forgotten she was still there. I was in a trance. Oh yeah, and how's that working out for them? I shout up. I notice Ronnie isn't wearing a wedding ring, but she's on a mission and doesn't turn until she's at the top of the gangway. They now spend that money on social, medical and educational needs. Sounds like something a politician would say, I tease. It won them a Nobel Peace Prize. I grin. But Ronnie has left, and Georgie is nudging me to climb the gangway. I walk up, entering a new phase in my life that I couldn't have predicted. Please stand here, sir. I need a picture, the officer says at the entrance. He holds a mini internet-type camera on a cable attached to his computer. I offer the smallest of smiles, more than for a passport. My picture is taken, and he nods, allowing me aboard. I place my case on the X-ray machine belt, and Georgie, who is now relaxed and smiling, does the same with her own case. Did the officers say to be at reception for 3 o'clock? Lifeboat drill, Georgie explains. I do it too. It only takes a few minutes. I was hoping to grab a reggae bus and go out for the day, I say, walking through the body scanner. Not today, Georgie smiles. But there's always another reggae bus. See you at the drill. She leaves. I feel alone and used.